Hi everyone, this is John Michael, and if you have a look at my more recent video, you probably already know that I have a frog and 4 turtles, but I won't keep them for long. Um, when I published all of those videos today, I realized that I didn't really explain the project, so I create a new playlist for this project actually, and I called it the low budget. No, sorry, the low tech paludarium. Um, so this is my paludarium, and right now we have 5 animals in it. So Pepe the frog and the 4 little turtle. So there is one swimming right there. There was one trying to climb the wall. There is one chilling near Pepe, and there is one chilling in the moss. So a paludarium really is some container that you create so you can have semi-aquatic animals. So that means that the animals that go in this bucket are amphibian, or at least they really like to live in and out of the water. So you will probably never really see it, but there is water here, but there is also water all under this really big rock. So in fact, this is all in a bucket, but really half of the bucket is full of water. So all the animals in there have really a lot of place to swim, and I really think I could actually put some fish, not a lot and not for long, but I could probably put some fish later in the year when this little bucket will be totally cycled. But for now, I'm just keeping some semi-aquatic animals in there, and believe me, I will probably release those turtle tomorrow. So this is why I do a lot of videos about them, simply because tomorrow they will probably be already gone back in the wild. So the paludarium really is a fun little project, and since I always catch some frogs really near my house, actually I save some frogs and I really like to observe them. This paludarium is really a good way to do a nice transition between frogs. So when I will catch other frogs, I will release Pepe back in the wild, simply because I don't want to overpopulate this little paludarium. The paludarium itself is made out of a bucket like this one. Don't worry, they all have been rinsed a lot, and since they're outside and I use them for many years, there is no more chlorine in there. So I don't exactly know the size of the bucket, but there is enough water for the animals I am keeping. And later in the summer, I will probably get some native algae, not algae, but native plants, so I can put inside of the water. So that way we will be able to keep a much bigger range of animals. And since all of this is outside, cycling this bucket and also doing the water change and everything, it is way more natural. So this is why I don't think I really need a filter. And well, since I'm not keeping a lot of animals and they never will stay for a long time, this is also why I can justify not having a filter in there. And also, since a lot of animals will be like frogs or turtles or salamanders, they really don't need a filter or at least not as much as a fish would actually do. So I don't know, maybe I will put some airstone in it or something, but really I did some project like this for years, and all the animals were always happy. Also right now, since the day is pretty cold, I actually am using some light for making the animals a little bit more comfortable. The lights come from my 10-gallon aquariums, and since there isn't any insect that can fly or anything, I'm not too shy to use the little cover of the 10-gallon aquarium to accommodate a little bit more those animals for the time being. So anyway, that was the paludarium. I really hope you like it, and if you have some suggestion, or if you have any question, or actually if you have a paludarium yourself and you have some good knowledge to share, make sure to do it in the comment section. Also, as you may see, I really add a lot of moss, and one of the turtle right here is really enjoying all this moss, and the moss slash grass will really help for the prey item, simply because in the old build, when there was only rocks, when a prey wasn't eat instantly, it had a pretty bad life. So it just was crawling on the rocks and didn't really have any place to hide or anything. But with all of this moss, even if an animal's or an insect, for example, doesn't get eat instantly, it can actually survive quite a long time in moss, and probably even reproduce. So there will always be some clandestine insect in this bucket. And since we are outside, I will probably have an infestation of mosquito larvae in the water, and this is actually good because this make the paludarium much more natural and much more sophisticated in a point, simply because even if it's really low tech, it is nature at its best in a way. And for more really aquatic animals, I will also do something in this bucket, so minnows or anything like that. And really, for filtration, I'm really relying on nature itself, so rain and everything. But I'm also going to be relying on a lot of aquatic plants and also green algae, because believe me or not, last year I put a lot of plants in there, and really in a few weeks I had a lot of insects and bugs and fish that were thriving in there. I was actually able to feed my dojo loach a lot of snails, simply because they were doing so great in there. And all of the driftwood in here can really help, as well as some of the rocks, because since I'm not using really a lot of rocks in my aquarium, in my inside aquarium anymore, I can really use all of those nice rocks. And as you can see, I mean, I have a lot of rocks to play with, and a lot of piece of driftwood, and also a lot of other buckets. So if one bucket isn't enough, I can always use a lot of other buckets. So anyway, this was the paludarium, and like the aquatic buckets, I can always do another paludarium, and I have many more containers and everything for a new project. So I can always do another vivarium, simply much smaller, but you know, this little fish buckle isn't good for fish, but it can be really a good container for insect. So anyway, this is John Michael, and I really hope you like this video. So this is the new playlist, and I am probably going to do a last playlist, and I will call it GM Lab, simply because I call all this little place right here where I do all my little project, I call it my laboratory, where I do all kind of experiment with insects and animals. So I might do a last playlist about the lab itself, but really for this bucket, this will have its own playlist, so the paludarium, the low-tech paludarium. So anyway, thanks a lot for watching. I know I have done a lot of videos today about this bucket, and really I'm going to do more fish keeping videos in the days to come. And yeah, I hope you like all those little turtles, because they are quite interesting, but as I said, they won't be here for long, but Pepe will stay a little bit longer, and once I get other frogs, he will get back in nature himself. So thanks for watching, and I will see you real soon in the next one. Bye.